Welcome back to This Is Real. In this video, I'll be giving my top 10 Nintendo Switch games of all time. It has been almost 2 years since I made the purchase to get a Nintendo Switch. I've managed to acquire a good size of Switch library games over the last 2 years, and I'm excited to share my favourite Nintendo Switch games ever. For this list, I'll be picking titles that are unique or have the best version on Nintendo Switch system, so I exclude quite a few ports from this list. Games like Witcher 3 and Final Fantasy X comes to mind. Before we officially start this top 10, here are my quick honourable mentions. For number 10, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2. XC2 is a meaty JRPG that features great vista and overworld that is very impressive to behold on a Nintendo Switch. One of my favourite aspects of this game is the action and combat system. It is a pretty deep battle system that may seem intimidating at first, which in actual fact it kind of is. It is not super intuitive, but once you get the ins and outs of the battle system, it can be very engaging and rewarding. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention that this game soundtrack is a goddamn masterpiece. I've had high expectation of this game soundtrack even before starting XC2, since I literally heard so much good soundtrack from the original Xenoblade Chronicles just from hearing in Smash 4. But just arriving in the first major area of the game, the theme already blew my mind out. It's really damn good. Speaking of the original Xenoblade Chronicles, I bought the new remaster in May of this year and I still haven't even started yet. This top 10 is definitely giving me an itch to play the remaster. For number 9, we have the launch titles of all launch titles, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is truly an experience unlike any other games I played. I wouldn't even per se say that Breath of the Wild is a fun game. It honestly felt more like surviving in a huge world kind of game. Some of my favourite moments of the game are just simply travelling and exploring all the different landmarks and locations while trying to piece out information about what happened in these locales. And the game's major gameplay mechanic is freedom. Just from the start of the game, you can really feel the change in gameplay. There aren't a lot of tutorials or meaningless quests to entertain, it's just go and have fun. The game encourages player experimentation in puzzle solving and exploration, and there really wasn't any game like that before. Nowadays, we can see the clear inspiration pulled from this amazing gameplay loop. At times, Breath of the Wild really feels like a concept demo that continues to show more and more potential of what a more fleshed out game it could be. A better story, better dungeons, better boss, better combat and whatnot would have made this one of the best games of all time. I don't think Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece at all because of all the things I said earlier. There are many problems with this game, especially since it is, in my opinion, quite a departure from what makes other Zelda games really good, which is the reason why I'm incredibly looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. I feel this game has a lot of potential to shine, and I believe Breath of the Wild 2 is going to complete their transformation and really give us the new Zelda experience all of us wants. For number 8, we have Okami HD. Yup, a Zelda clone is better than Breath of the Wild itself. This action-adventure game is truly a masterpiece. One of my favourite aspects of this game is the presentation. The art style, music and setting really works in tandem that really gives off this special Japanese feel that is so incredibly unique. There truly is not any game that I can recall that is close to this game style at all. The gameplay, as mentioned earlier, is heavily modelled after the Legend of Zelda series, featuring a lengthy campaign that will see you conquer many unique dungeons in a linear storyline, which is just what I want in the Legend of Zelda game. The Celestial Brush mechanic is also very well implemented into gameplay. Because of the Switch touchscreen and HD Rumble, this is the best part of this masterpiece. Do yourself a favour and get this game on your Switch. This game is often on sale for just $9.99, it is absolutely a bargain. For number 7, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. At this moment, it is the best selling Switch game. At first, I really didn't want to put this game on the list since it is mainly just a Wii U Definitive Edition port. But me personally, this is my first time playing MK8 since I didn't have a Wii U. And let me just say, this is the best Mario Kart experience ever in terms of gameplay. It is excellent, track selection, excellent, presentation, excellent. I think it may be the best looking game on the Switch. The online mode is also very good, probably the best AAA first party online game by Nintendo. The only downside I can say is that this game isn't that good in a casual setting. I don't know whether I'm just that good, however whenever I play with casual people who do not really play a lot of games, it is a cakewalk every time. It is not a very good party game experience since the most skilled player like me will win like almost 80% of the time. And there really isn't a good way to level the playing field, so to speak. I mean, they did include the assist mode, which is freaking on by default for no freaking reason. But if you can find the same skill set friend, it is a lot of fun, especially if there are other stakes on the line. For number 6, we have Luigi's Mansion 3. When I first saw the review of this game, I wasn't really that impressed. Even with the newer trailers, this game just wasn't on my radar at all. I was eyeing up another Switch release at the time, being Dragon Quest XI's. One of my close friends actually wanted to buy Luigi's Mansion 3, so I ended up buying both games together to save on the shipping fees. So about 1.5 days before I had to meet with him to give him the copy of Luigi's Mansion 3, I just casually asked him, can I play Luigi's Mansion 3 first before giving the copy? With his permission, in just less than 12 hours I finished the game, and I have to say it's an incredible 12 hours game. The puzzles are super fun to figure out, and each floor has its own specific theme, which really adds to the variety of the game. The best way I can describe this game is to compare it to the FLUDD mechanic in Super Mario Sunshine. When in a game, the FLUDD is used in many gimmicky ways which aren't really that fun. In Luigi's Mansion 3 however, the Poltergust is the centerpiece of basically every puzzle of this game, and some of the ways you use it is so interesting and clever. There are maybe one instance where it might have felt very gimmicky and not fun, but those are really rare occasions in the grand scheme of things. My only problem with this game is that there are some parts of the game where you need to retread old floors again, which definitely felt like padding. But all in all, despite it being quite a short game, it is definitely worth the $60 price tag. For my number 5, it is Fire Emblem Three Houses. This game is bloody addictive, man. So you know how this year we have the stay home season because of the situation outside, and literally everyone is playing Animal Crossing New Horizon? Yup, I was instead playing Three Houses. This is my longest single player Switch game ever. There are no games that even come close. Not Breath of the Wild, not Mario Odyssey. Yup, it is this game, alright. I actually didn't really give this game much of a chance in 2019. In fact, this copy you see right here actually belongs to one of my closest friends. And I'm only really wanted to play this game after the release of Byleth as the freshest DLC fighter for Smash Ultimate. So after playing Byleth for a while, I finally gave this game a chance and I'm really pleasantly surprised by how good this game is. One of my favorite aspects of this game are the characters. Every character kind of has something really unique about them, be it their backstory, design, or their role in this game world. I will always look forward to getting new support conversation just to find out more about the motivations and lore of this game. The only negative I can say is because this game has multiple branching playthroughs, it is gonna be a complete drag to actually try to get all the stories. I know personally when I finished the Blue Lions route after 85 hours, I wasn't really that content, and that forced me to eventually start a New Game Plus. At this moment I've already clocked close to 133 hours, which is just absolutely nuts, and I still haven't gotten the full closure I think I deserve. Just trying to start another playthrough is kind of rough, as I already know it's gonna be a giant time sink. Maybe one day when I actually complete all the routes, I can truly make a proper judgment to this amazing game. Maybe I'll even make a standalone video just for this game. Anyway, this game is extremely deserving to be in the top 5, especially considering the other main JRPG Nintendo published in 2019. For number 4, we have Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. This game has most of the elements that makes me enjoy JRPGs. Firstly, the plot is very well written and the pacing is excellent. There aren't many down moments in this game. The best part of the pacing for me is that you never really have to grind. A lot of the tougher bosses require more tactical maneuvering than just raw numbers and stats, which just makes the pacing of the story really strong. Secondly, the overworld and locales are extremely fun to explore and look at. It really felt alive. Thirdly, the party members are really refreshing and fun to be around with. Each member has his own unique charm and abilities. They all felt so endearing, especially as you spend more time with all of them. Even months after I finished the game, I still miss their banter and company. That probably sounds really weird to say, as they are just fictional characters, but the whole game legit felt like a grand adventure to me. The only negatives I can find is that the turn-based battle system can feel a lot dated, especially comparing it to the more modern JRPG systems out there, like Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler and Attila Ryza for instance. It's still a pretty fun and deep combat system that will provide some intense battles here and there. It's just that the battle system won't be blowing anyone off their feet. The second negative is the soundtrack. It is not a bad soundtrack per se, but it just doesn't really have many standout tracks that I can name off the top of my head. There are definitely good tracks here and there, but don't expect the masterpieces like those you find in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Three Houses. Anyway, it is still an insanely great game that is perfect to play on the Switch. It is my favourite full-length JRPG game ever. For number 3, it is Super Mario Odyssey. This is my favourite single-player Switch video game ever. When I got my Nintendo Switch in December of 2018, this was the second game I got for this system, and I can tell you right now, it is absolutely amazing. I think this game is absolutely deserving of a full standalone video review on this channel, but I'll just say a few things now. Recently, I just finished Super Mario 64, and I gotta say I have more appreciation for Odyssey because of that. This game truly expanded on all of Super Mario 64's strong points while addressing elements that really hasn't aged all that well in Super Mario 64. A varied selection of game worlds that are filled to the brim with creative and new ideas? Check. A sense of discovery and secrets? Check. A wide assortment of movements to complement the open style levels? Check. Complaints regarding progression like checkpoints and booting out of a level after completing a star are non-existent in this game. And I believe this game's objective fit with the Nintendo Switch so well, especially for me who was in the army at the time. I don't necessarily have a lot of time to fit in long play sessions in camp. So being able to just slowly, bit by bit, collect a little bit of moons here and there, put my Switch in sleep mode and continue half an hour later, that was basically my life, and I absolutely love it. And just for information, Breath of the Wild is the third game I purchased for my Switch library, and I actively chose to forego playing Breath of the Wild to play more of Mario Odyssey. To me, Odyssey is a more fun game where the fun never stops, whereas in Breath of the Wild, the fun index definitely wavered here and there. Super Mario Odyssey is a must-have. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you have not picked up this game, please do yourself a favor and get it. While you're at it, you might as well pick up the 3D All-Stars. For number 2, we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is the main reason I picked up a Switch in the first place. Not Breath of the Wild, even though I was a big Zelda fan. Not Mario Odyssey, even though I'm a big Mario fanboy. It is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. My love for this franchise dates back to the original Super Smash Bros. Where my friends and I will crowd around a single monitor as we play on Nintendo 64 emulator. The sound of keyboard mashing and analog stick waggling is still pretty fresh in my mind. As much as I want to dive into the nitty-gritty details of why this game is one of the greatest games ever created, for me it'll always go back to the scene of playing Smash with friends. The memories of local multiplayer is very important to me, and through this game I have made brand new memories with different people from all walks of life. And the Switch is the best platform for this game. With the Switch, you can basically play local multiplayer with anyone at any time. I remember when I first got my Switch, in the same week, I brought my Switch out to a fast food restaurant and I was still trying to unlock the massive character roster included in the game. I just have to simply pass one of my Joy-Cons to my friend and we were playing it non-stop. We were stuck there close to about 1.5 hours. The only factor that caused us to leave was the pitiful 3 hours battery life on original Switch models, which I happened to own at the time since they have not released the newer, more efficient chip at the time. I've also attended several local tournaments for the first time in my life. Even though I have to self-admit right now, I'm not super good at this game, but I made a lot of memories just talking and playing the game with many people. This game is also a casual paradise. All the customization and modes always allow for some shenanigans in the matches. All my casual friends aren't handicapped just because I have put in more time in this game. We can always have a good, dumb, fun time together all the time, which is something I cannot say about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Anyways, I don't really want to ramble on about this game. I can talk hours upon hours about this amazing game. I'll just say I've had made so much memories with this game. It is already worth so much more than its price tag, and I'm certain I'll only continue to make more memories through to the end of the Switch life cycle. For number 1, I know you all might think I'm trolling or whatnot, but my number 1 Switch game of all time is Tetris 99. I'm dead serious. One negative about Smash Bros. Ultimate that almost everyone can agree on is the abysmal online experience. And it's not just a Smash thing either, it extends to Nintendo in general as well, but Tetris 99 is really the exception. I swear, this game is just so goddamn fun. Every time I play it, it's just super fun to play. I'm not even that good of a Tetris player myself, and I do not know all the ins and outs of Tetris strategy or builds. I just like playing it. For the uninitiated, Tetris 99 is basically the Tetris multiplayer gameplay in a battle royale setting where you get to compete with 98 other players. This is by far the greatest online game published by Nintendo, hands down. The one more match syndrome is insanely prevalent in this game. A 10 minutes game can extend to 2 hours of playtime without you even noticing. Every single game I get really close to getting the coveted Tetris Maximus, I will just instantly start a new game. It is so damn addicting. I've never truly got that addicted until they had the patch where you can get tickets for every day if you complete the mission. Ever since then, I've been playing Tetris 99 every day. I rarely ever miss a day. One aspect I really love about this game is the customization. There are so many teams that include Nintendo IPs, which is just great. My personal favorite team is the Three Houses team. As mentioned in my top 10 earlier, the amazing soundtrack is really good. The game is free too, so if you have a Nintendo Switch Online membership, you need to try this game out for yourself. It is just that good. And that's the end of my top 10 list. So let me know in the comment section below what is your top 10 Switch game of all time. I know I didn't include Animal Crossing New Horizon because I still haven't got a copy of that game. So yeah, also if you like the video, please press the like button. It really helps out small channels like myself. And if you're curious about my opinion about the Super Mario 3D All Stars, you can click here. So long guys, so long.